The president has been making a point about North Korea and bringing them to the table and making sure that his relationship with Kim Jong-un seems to be on a good footing, which it appears to be right now. The White House not saying that the summit is back on just yet. I imagine that a lot of that will ride on the outcome of meetings between the Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and Chol of North Korea, either later today or early tomorrow morning in New York. But the White House yesterday sounding a note of optimism about the idea that it could still be on June the 12th. Sarah Huckabee Sanders on the way to a big rally in Nashville saying, quote, the president's letter specifically said that we were open to the meeting at that time. And again, we expect it to take place, but we'll see what happens. We're going to be prepared if it takes place on June the 12th. We'll certainly be prepared. If for some reason it takes place at a later date, we'll be prepared for that as well. The White House has got two teams in the East Asia region, one led by the Deputy Chief of Staff, Joe Hagan. He is in Singapore to set up logistics for a meeting between the president and Kim Jong-un. Another team is at the DMZ to work with North Korea on what the summit can achieve. You also want to make sure, you always want to make sure a lot of this is prearranged so there's no surprises during the meeting. At a Nashville political rally for Marsha Blackburn, who's running for the Senate in Tennessee, the president had praise for his national security advisor, John Bolton, who got North Korea all worked up when he said denuclearization for North Korea would likely follow the Libyan model. Listen to what the president said last night.
Who is John Bolton? Great John Bolton. They think he's so nasty and so tough that I have to hold him back, okay? It's pretty great. And he's doing a great job. You better get some rest because we have some pretty good negotiations coming up.
You better get some rest because there's some pretty big negotiations coming up. I know for a fact that Bolton gets up every day at least 4:30 and is into work very early. You know, the president has walked back the idea of the Libyan model for North Korean denuclearization, saying that Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi never got any security or political guarantees from the United States. The president has repeatedly said that he is prepared to give Kim Jong-un personal, political, and security guarantees if he goes ahead with denuclearization. We'll find out soon where all of this goes, Sandra.
A lot of questions still, John. Meanwhile, in that wide-ranging rally speech last night by the president, he also laid out a strategy for the midterms. What did we hear on that?
Well, the president suggesting last night that everything that he has been trying to accomplish over the last 16 months will be at risk if the Democrats take over one or both houses of Congress after November. You know, tax cuts, job creation, regulatory reform, national security. The president also indicating last night that he plans to pound Nancy Pelosi from now until November with her criticism of the president calling MS-13 gang members animals. Listen to how he wound up the crowd last night.
13 lover Nancy Pelosi. She loves MS-13. Can you imagine? Remember? I said they're animals, and she said, how dare you say that? They're not human beings. And this is why we call the bloodthirsty MS-13 gang members exactly the name that I used last week. What was the name? Animals.
The president getting some audience participation there last night in the same way he has when he used to say, who's going to pay for the wall? And the crowd would shout back, Mexico. By the way, Sandra, just want to point out that there's a lot of meetings with Kim's coming up. There's the potential summit with Kim Jong-un. There's Mike Pompeo's meeting with Kim Chol. And Kim Kardashian is going to be at the White House later on today. She's got a meeting with Jared Kushner about prison reform. We're also hearing that she'll probably stop by and say hello to the president. She is also, along with Kanye West, her husband, advocating for a pardon for a great-grandmother of hers who's been in jail since 1996 on a drug charge. So a lot of Kims on the president's mind lately.